What is up, tube, and welcome back to another tutorial by Big Al's Barber channel. What we're gonna do today, guys, we're gonna do on this young man is we're gonna do a faux hawk, a zero faded out faux hawk, guys. So basically, the parents don't want nothing touched on top. They want the curls to grow back in. So what they come in for is that they get a faux hawk on it. So what I'm doing started off right here is I'm gonna start off with using my Gamma Ergo, and I'm gonna be putting a number 4 clip on it, and I'm just gonna go right off the side of the head, guys. Right off the side of the head, right to the parietal ridge, in the faux hawk motion, which is going like a burst on the way out. Now I'm gonna grab my Babyliss right here, and I'm gonna zero it all out, create my first guideline right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna arch it on the way back. I'm gonna be arching it down towards the back. Everything below that is a zero, so I'm just zeroing it all out. I'm creating my first guideline. That's my faux hawk guideline. If you guys don't know what a faux hawk is basically like a mohawk, but way more hair on top. A lot of times you kick it to the middle if they want it that way, and you can make it kind of like a mohawk, but it's a faux hawk, and this is a faux hawk burst. It just basically it's a faded up going upward. So now that I created my guide right there, I'm going to grab my Braun Series 9 that I always use. And this is a shaver right here. And you guys, this little boy right here is about 4 years old, maybe at the most. The Braun Series 9 is safe enough to use it on him. It's gentle enough. So right there, you can see I always do this when I do haircuts like this. This is a specialty cut. So basically I'm going to do one side first, and then I'll do the other side. So right here what I do is I got my number 1 with the lever open, and I'm going to go all the way to the parietal ridge. Parietal ridge is edge before the head bends over, guys. Right up to the top right there. Going upward. Leaving the little tail in the back. 1.5. Just pushing it all the way up. Then I'm going to lower my levers to a number 1 close. Same thing, and I'm just going to be bursting it out. So just going to move it this way a little bit. Now I'm going to grab my clipper over comb, take off my clip, no clip, the lever close, and I'm going to do my clipper over comb. My clipper over comb basically just, all I'm doing is leveling it out. Like I said, they don't really want to cut the top a lot. If they did want to cut the top, guys, then I would bring that in more at an angle, like at a 90-degree angle, and really take off the sides. But they really didn't want to touch the sides, more just the burst on the side, the burst fade on the side. And see right there towards the tail, that's a little odd angle right there. So you got to turn your comb in the direction, pull out the hair, and clean it up. Remember, clipper over comb, guys, is just something that you need to learn. It's something that is essential to barbering, and you just need to learn it. So right there, I put my 1 back on there, and I'm just going to clean it back up to where I just clipper over comb, just clean it up a little bit more. Now I have my lever closed, and I'm just cleaning up the bottom line, just fading it up. Same way I would do a fade, a normal fade. Now I'm going to take off my clip, lever open, and that's a half right there. I'm just going to go up, and I'm going to create another guideline. You can see I'm creating another little shadow. See, I'm going to take it all off right there, and I'm creating another shadow right there. That's my half shadow. Now I'm going to lower my clip, 2 levers, and I'm just fading out the bottom line, just trying to clean up that bottom line. See that? My lever's about halfway closed right now. And all I have is that other guideline that I just created with a half. As I'm going through it, I'm closing my lever. Now what I'm gonna do right now is grab my I'm gonna grab my Andes GTX. Oh no, I'm not yet. I'm sorry. I grab my half clip, and I'm gonna fade out that line that I created with a half. See, as I go across my levers now, 2 clicks up. Just fading it away, guys. You just got to blend that up. Blend that up. And even right now, I'm not going to leave it perfect. I'm going to probably move on to the next side. But you get an idea what I'm talking about. At the end, I come back and I really clean it up a lot. Right now, I'm just going to clean it up with the Andes right there. Make sure that there's no line at the bottom. Then I'm going to come back with my shaver and really get it nice and tight, nice and clean. I always, anytime I do a fade, guys, I always shave it with the Braun Series 9. See here, I come back with the Braun Series 9, and I'm just cleaning it up. That way it looks nice and smooth. Your fade is your canvas. There's no lines. You don't want to be leaving lines. You don't want to be leaving, shadows and stuff like that. You just want a nice clean fade going upwards. I could still see a shadow right there that I should have cleaned up right there. But at the end, I go back and I always double check my work, and I'm sure I cleaned it back up. But here we go on the other side. Now we're the same thing. We're going to go start with the number 4. So you see me, I did one side. Now I'm doing the other side, guys. You have to move quickly when you're doing haircuts like this with little kids. Little kids don't want to sit in your chair and have you lallygagging and kids' attention span is so short that in reality, guys, you need to finish a kid's haircut within 20 minutes. That way you get them in and you get them out. Because anything more than that, a little kid's going to get anxious. You're going to get these kids that don't even want to sit still. This little kid right here is really good. He does not complain. He does not move. He's very, very, very nice little boy. He's just good at haircuts. See, so right there, you see me, I started you see a better view of it. See how I arch it? And I do like a little angle. And everything below that, I just zero it out. Just kind of like a U. And I bring it back towards the back. Just C-cup it right there, all around the ear. And that's all going to be shaved right there. It's all going to be nice and tight, nice and clean. Super quick, super easy, guys. This is a money cut right here. For a while, guys, right now you guys are lucky if you do a few of these. I remember back 8 years ago, this was a cut. We were doing these all day, like I do comb overs now. Back in the day, it was Phohawks. It was crazy. It went through that time where Phohawks were just that was a cut, So right here again, I'm just shaving it, getting it all nice and tight, getting my canvas nice and clean, guys. Remember that. See how I'm holding his head too, guys? When you're cutting a little kid's head, you can't just let him have bobblehead. Kids really, in reality, they'll move. If you don't hold their head, you always have to be in control of your haircut. Keep your hands on top of your client and just control the cut. See right there, I'm going up again with the 1.5 lever open, or the one with the lever open, which is the 1.5. I hope you guys understand the guide system, guys. If your lever's closed, that's a 0. If your lever's open, that's a 1/2. So if you put a 1 clip, lever closed, that's a 1. If you put the 1 clip, lever open, that's a 1.5. Keep that in mind, guys. You have to know that. So right here, I'm just going. Now I have my lever closed, so that's a 1. And I'm just cleaning that up right there. Guy walked in right there, and he was impatient. He goes, how long's the wait? I go, got one more ahead of you. And he's like, okay, thanks. And he walked out. So now I'm going to come back with my clipper over comb. See all the darkness right there? That's got to be cleaned up. That's got to be faded in. See how I'm controlling his head right here? It's hard because you can't hold his head while you're doing it. And that right there, the tail section, is a little tricky. Got to turn the clip the other way, the comb the other way. Still clean it up. The best thing about this haircut, guys, the Phohawks, is you got to remember, guys, there's no wrong and right way of doing it. Like, this is one of those cuts that, you just got to jump in it and try it. And trust me, there's no wrong or right way of doing it. Like, nobody's going to say, hey, you messed up my Phohawk. Because the Phohawk, in reality, is just kind of it's a trendy cut, Like, there's so many different ways of doing it. So many people did it in different ways, like you could, instead of fading it like the way I'm doing right there, you could actually just fade out the sideburn and fade out the back by the tail, and it would still look good, But I like to do it like this is 0 because I know that this little guy comes in all the time and his dad likes it like this. So there, I see how I tapered it out. I cleaned it up really nice with the clipper over comb. Now I'm gonna come back with my 1.5, and we're just kind of leveling it out right there. Just kind of cleaning up the field right there. Cleaning up the one. Now I close my lever, and now it's just a one, and I'm just cleaning it out, making it nice and smooth. From there, we're gonna come back, take off the clip, lever open, and that's a half. Remember when your lever's open, that's a half. Go across, go down, and you're just fading it like you would any other fade. Lower my, close my lever one clip, go back up to the same spot again, all the way down. Now I lifted my lever one more notch. Now I'm going up to the middle of it, and I'm just fading out the bottom line. Just fading it out. The little shadow that's left, that's a half shadow. Take care of that with the half clip. See, now I got my half clip on there, lever open, and I'm just concentrating on the center shadow. The 1.5 clip blends into the 1 clip, guys. Remember that. If you're having a hard time fading out that line right there, it's probably because you're not using your half clip. Use your half clip. Half clip's super important when you're fading, guys. Super important. So I'm just fading out that line right there. You see that? Just fading it out. Just blending it all up. And I can still see that bottom shadow right there where I still got to go back and shave it a little bit, clean it up. I tell you, this little kid right here is really good. He doesn't move or nothing. So just cleaning it all up, guys. And basically, you know, the parents didn't want nothing cut up on top. All they wanted was to fade out the sides. And once I fade it out, then I'm going to line up the front too. See, so right there, I just clean it up. Cleaning up the neck. Make sure his little tail's in the right direction. Cleaning it all up. Making it all look nice and tight. Super easy, guys. I'm filming this in real time right now. Right now we're at 12 minutes. So maybe the whole haircut probably took me 20 minutes, guys. Maybe 15 minutes the most. But there we're all faded out already. So right here I already lined up the other side. I missed that shot, guys. Sorry about that. But basically, no, when I line up kids or anybody, guys, I don't stand in front of them and line them all the way across. I'll do one side, then spin him around, and then I'll line up on the other side, and I'll do the other side. So right here, I'm doing the front of his face, and I had already done the other side, and I missed that shot. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. So just getting that line up as straight as I can because he didn't want me to lift up the hair. He wanted me to line it up nice and straight. So right here, at the end now, what I'm going to go back and do is, this is the final step of this haircut, is I just go back and try to do a little bit more clipper over comb on the Phohawk part, which is kind of just bring it straight up. Like I said, other times when you do Phohawks, they want them to be pointy up on top. So if you do, then you got to take more of that parietal ridge area right there. But on this one, they want to keep the curls on top. It's more of a long, curly Phohawk. So we made sure to just go straight up with it instead of fading it out the other way. But at this point, guys, this haircut is pretty much done. You know, I'm just kind of cleaning it up, making the last detail parts, getting it all nice and spiffy. Remember I told you right there, I felt like I left a little bit of a shadow. This is where I go back in right there, and I kind of clean up that shadow, push it up. Yeah, you know, when you're doing fades like that, sometimes you're looking at it, and you think it looks good. Then you'll go on to the next section, and then you'll come back and say like, whoa, I missed this spot right here. So it's always good to double check your haircut, your fades. Go back at the end and go one last little cleanup. See if you left any shadows, any patches. Make it look clean. That way your haircut just comes out nice and tight. That's with any type of fade and everything. Right here, this is a bad camera shot, you know what I mean? But like I said, see how I'm controlling his head, guys? I always have my hand on top of his head when I'm fading. You just have to in order. See right here, this is the hardest part because see how I put the comb in and see how he turns his face? All kids do that. All kids. So you got to talk to them, command them. You got to tell them, don't move your head, don't move your head. And I'll move his head back, and I'll tell him, don't move your head, don't move your head. And this little kid is really good about it. Some kids, you got to do it 2-3 times before they actually hold their head in place. But you know, it's all about being in command. It's all about keeping control of your haircut, and you know, letting your little man know that you're the one in control, and you're the one that's doing the haircut, and you know, and they gotta pay attention to you. Sometimes I see some of my coworkers, you know, like kids will be running rampant on them and moving and moving this way and moving that way, and they don't say nothing. And to me, it's funny. I maybe it's just me because I'm older and I'm more ornery, but I take command of the haircut. And if I don't like the way a kid's acting, or I'll say it loud so that the parent will hear. Though that always helps, you know. Like if you think the kid's being not being cooperative, then you need to speak up, and so the parent could stand there and maybe command them so they could tell them, you know. And but you have to be in control. Right here, I'm just doing detail work, getting that little fade clean, nice and tight. See, one last time I'm going to go over with my Braun Series 9. Always just like last part of the detail work of the haircut. You always want to be doing that so that everything looks clean and looks good, and you know. But guys, that's it for this cut. I appreciate you guys watching our channel. Big Al's Barber Channel is here to help you get better at barbering by sharing what I do every single day here at the shop. If you guys have any questions about this cut, leave them below. If you guys think it looks clean, leave it below. If you guys don't like it, leave it below. I answer everybody, guys. You guys have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys on the next video.